time blocking. Here's how I time block my tasks to scale my agency to 9K a month while working a full-time job. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 systems that are designed to save you time. Time is something that you need to get back as fast as possible. So what are the 3 systems or the 3 things that are going to save you time and make sure that you are as productive as possible throughout the day? So the first thing is time blocking your tasks in Google Calendar or whichever calendar you use. I recommend Google Calendar because you can have it on your phone. You can also have it on your laptop or your Mac. Now, time blocking tasks, all that is for example, I'm going to do a deep work session from 8 till 12. That is a 4-hour deep work session where I'm going to focus on getting the hardest task done first. Simple as that. If I time block that, that is going to make sure that I do those tasks, and that is my deep work task. That is my hardest task. That is the things that I struggle with the most, that I know I need to get done, that will move it forward. That is the 80-20 rule. 80% of your work will reap 80% of the output or the return. Whereas if you're doing the little 20% stuff, that's not going to move the needle forward. You know what you need to do already. You do that in a deep work blog first thing in the morning. Now, the next thing, once we've done our time blocking, how do we make sure that our time blocking is effective? Well, the second step to this is we are going to make sure that the first thing that we do in the morning, either we have a shower and we brush our teeth and then we get to work, or we just wake up and get to work. You find out what works best for you, but the less things you have to do between the time that you work and the time that you wake up, you can find out what works best for you, but the more you reduce between the time waking up and the time you start working, the less things you have in between will mean the more work you will produce, because you're not spending energy from your brain on other tasks. Now, what I do is I get up, I brush my teeth, I have a shower, and then I get straight to work. What do I do to help me though in that work session? Well, this is where we're going to move on to step 3. So number 1, we're time blocking the most important task. Number 2, what we're going to do next is we're making sure that we reduce the time between us waking up and the time between us starting our work. The least amount of things between that period of time is going to help you to just get on with the task straight away, because the more you think about it, the more resistance you'll have to the task. And then finally, the third step is how do we optimize that? How do we make it as easy as possible to be able to do that? Well, we wake up and we get to work. But when we finally sat down and started our deep work block, what can we do to help us focus and make sure we're on task? Well, the first thing we can do is we can block out any distractions. I use my headphones. I get my headphones on, I have a coffee, and I have an electrolyte drink. That helps me to focus first off. The next thing that I do from there is with my headphones, I listen to some music that's going to help me focus, stay on track, but also make me enjoy the journey and enjoy the process of getting those tasks done a lot easier. The next thing that I do from that is I have a timer, and I'll time myself of how long I think that task is going to take me. What I do is I get it done within that period of time. If I don't, that's okay. You just need to redo the timer, how long you think you've got left to do, and then carry on and do it. Simple as that. Now, those are the tips. So step 1 was actually time blocking the task in your calendar, whether that's the morning. I highly recommend doing it first thing in the morning. If it's not possible, then you'll have to do it after work. Number 2 was reducing the time between you waking up and then getting to the hardest task. If you are working a 9-to-5 job, obviously it's a lot harder to do this. You're gonna have to find different time periods in the day where this is going to be the most effective for you. But then finally, the third step is finding something that helps you to focus. So for me, headphones with music, a coffee, electrolyte drink, and then making sure that anything that isn't relevant is blocked out from the blocker that I have on my Mac and on my phone. Simple as that, because you need to make it so easy to do the hard work that it becomes impossible for you not to do it. It's as simple as that. And so if you reduce everything that you feel like is going to distract you, and you optimize the things that are going to help you to focus, that's how you get there. So with that in mind, guys, remember to time block your tasks and follow this 3-step system that's going to help you to become way more productive in any task that you do and get the hard work done even when you don't feel like doing it. Now, with that in mind, guys, as always remember, take action.